At first sight, Married England star Thomas Hartley was multiplied by his common stars after his disturbing comments about them in the last podcast appearance. Liverpudlian was never shy when he came to call his friends in the show, and often joined the discussions and the center of the debate. Since the end of the show, Thomas has settled in the famous circuit and quit as a mental health nurse to make a career in the entertainment area. Thomas, who appeared in podcast this week, typically made a series of strange claims about his common stars before joining jokes about the two who talked about his openly and late parents. In a sound clip, Thomas may hear that he was telling the story of the story on a scene from the first part, which only saw Jenna Robinson in the corridor. Jenna, half of the last couple of this year with Zoe Clifton, announced that her father passed away. While discussing the scene, one of podcast's hosts is a joke, which is okay. He chose not to repeat about Jenna's late father to the wedding. Then everyone can hear that he laughs, and while he made more terrible jokes, Thomas quit said, "I cancel the king, right?" He adds Jenna, but to be honest, Jenna is a good person, really. Jenna's wife Zoe shared the clip on Instagram. "You are a disrespectful piece. Slighting your own friend and Jenna disrespect is completely unforgivable," he continued. For a bit confused, Thomas is talking about Jenna's father, whom he lost during COVID. Thomas also commented on April Banbury and Whitney Hughes, condemned by two women. In a second clip from podcast, one of the landlords describes April's energy as F***ing incredible. Thomas then replied like a horse and replied, he said that his mother left him. "If your child had such an attitude, you would do it," he says. One of the hosts was answered by Thomas, "I know. Whitney's mother." They can all hear laughing. Nissan, who shared the clip on Instagram, wrote, "Mac, it is terrible to encounter the protruding behaviors from adults. Laughing for people's trauma for influence. The industry should be careful about who they give platforms without damaging their names by supporting and encouraging bullying." Whitney also shared the sound in response to a fan question about why he prevented some of the MAFS stars on social media. In his Instagram story, he wrote, "When the show was on the air, the players shared the painful things trolls published about me despite the friendship we built after the show. These and disgusting behaviors, so I blocked half of the cast, and why did I turn to fly for MAFS Christmas? I will never willingly put myself in the company's company to say something to gain pressure or to gain pressure." Thomas issued an apology for podcast and claimed that he wanted to be transferred. His apology was the Instagram story and Pussycat Dolls part buttons in the background. "I apologize for any crime I caused in podcast. It wasn't right and I wanted it to be removed and it wasn't. I wanted to remove the TM pieces. No excuse. I was largely irregular. I will live with eternal regret." Okay. He contacted Thomas's representative for more comments.